Well, it's time for me to clean up my container garden here that I showed you, the Larry Hall grow bag garden that I had this year. For those of you that don't remember, this year I let my land rest, and you know, biblically you're supposed to do that every 7 years. This is the first time I've done it. I've never done it. Wanted to, didn't do it for years and years. And 2015, I say this year, 2015, I let my land rest. And in doing so, or the way I was able to do that and still plant a garden, was to use the grow bags like Larry Hall talks about. Well, I didn't show you later in the year. They did real well. This is my tomatoes. They are, these cages are 5 feet tall, and they came out of the cages and back down. So those are about 10-foot vines. Still had a few tomatoes on them when the frost got them. So they did real well. I was real pleased with the way the garden did, the grow bags did. Now, next year will not be a Shemitah year. Shemitah is the 7th year rest. So next year, or excuse me, I keep forgetting it's 2016. This year is not a year of rest. So for the next 6 years, I'll plant in the ground. This is my raised bed garden. These are just some fiberglass tubs that I had access to years and years ago. And don't ask where I got them, because you can't get any more. They sell something similar to this online. Just look up totes, fiberglass totes, or industrial totes. But anyway, this year I will plant, in the springtime I will plant in these totes. I will plant in my back to earth gardens. Got 2 of those that are about 60 by 60, or about 80 by 80. And so the project today is, I've said all that to say this, project today is to take all these cages down, these tomato cages. These were peppers, so I had pepper cages here. Take all the cages down, and I'm going to take the potting soil, because I'm going to reuse it. I'm not going to just throw it away. Potting soil is too expensive. So the potting soil that's in the blue bags will go into these tubs here, because some of them are not full and could use a little extra. So I will shake the dirt out of these tomato plants and put the cages in a safe place so they won't get messed up and ran over and twisted up, and reuse the potting soil. That is the plan. I'll show you a little bit of it right about now. As I told you last time, these bags, I got them off eBay. They're not all that great. It's a 1-year bag. They just, I mean, disintegrating. Okay, so the regular Walmart bags do last several years. These will not. Also, I'm giving you the first preview of using my new camera, or the camera on my new phone. This is a 6S. Has a 4K video phone, or video on the phone, and my understanding is it is one of the best ever. So that's the plan, is to use this from now on, if at all possible. And I just previewed the time lapse, so we will we'll have that option too. It's got a slow-mo option, time lapse option, several things even before you get into the editing. So it's pretty cool. 4K video, image stabilization. Some of y'all are gonna love that. I was asked if I filmed the Blair Witch Project one time, because my image stabilization has not been all that great. So anyway, we'll start emptying these grow bags, shake the dirt off, the potting soil off, and put those in these tubs. As you can see, maybe you can see over there that some of those tubs are kind of shallow, don't have as much dirt in them as these tubs do. So I'm going to take most of this potting soil probably over there. Now pretty soon, in about a month or so, I'm going to be planting this whole first row in onions. I'll show you that when I do that. Down here, Valentine's Day or so is one of the best planting times for onions, for planting onion sets, not onion seeds. So anyway, this is I will start emptying out some of these, show you a little bit of that, and then show you the finished product. See, these bags are just tearing up, but they have done their purpose. I may have little specks of blue around here for a while. So here is the finished, pretty much finished product. The potting soil in the blue containers, blue bags, and I do have patches of blue, but they will they went in these tubs, which is again the raised bed garden, and I had enough to spread through 3 rows here. Pretty much spread out pretty good. That row there leaves me 3 rows, but what I'll probably do is not plant. I just don't think I'm gonna plant that. Well, depends on the world situation. I may or may not plant that bigger garden this year again, and because I'm going to be using my Back to Eden garden quite a bit. It's been about 2 years since I planted there, and it should be good by now. So what I'll do is come back. We're supposed to get some rain next day or two. This will pack down some. Excuse me if I'm out of breath. This will pack down some, and it'll level out some. I'll level it out pretty good, but it'll level out some and pack down, and then I'll be able probably to come back on top of it with some wood chips. Really, it's just almost compost. It's very composted wood chips. And these gardens, these raised beds that I probably will not plant this year, they'll definitely get filled up with wood chips, and just let it compost for a year, which will be excellent. And but this will be probably where my onions, first row probably tomatoes, second row peppers, third row squash, zucchini, maybe this row. Back to Eden, I'm probably going to do a comparison with this raised bed, and in other words, plant the same some of the same tomato plants here, same tomato plants in the Back to Eden garden, and just compare the two, let you see the comparison there. So be watching for that. But the Back to Eden garden is probably, there's 2 spots again. Probably going to be peas, beans. My wife wants a lot of pintos, beans, and she wants a lot of purple hull peas. So that's going to be the bulk of those 2 gardens. And I may do some pumpkins or something, not sure. But something that vines. I'll do some, I'll have to do some cucumbers somewhere, and I'm not sure exactly where yet. Anyway, this is the end of it. It looks pretty nice compared to what it looked like about 3 hours ago. And I took a little rest, got something to eat. But it took about 2 hours to do this, I guess. Clean it out, dump them out. I'll come back with a stick with a sharpened nail in it and stab some of these blue things. But again, I'm gonna be probably seeing blue for quite a while. But as fast as this stuff deteriorated, I don't know. It may not. I may not be seeing it that long anyway. But it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. That is gonna be my raised bed garden for this year. That is gonna be probably all onions. That's a lot of onions. I'll plant 2 rows. I did 3 and it worked real well, but I may just do 2 rows in which would be probably 25 onions per. I've got 13 tubs, so that's a lot of onions. But my kiddos like them. They'll come get some, I'm sure. Anyway, that is about it. I have done everything I wanted to do today. And I hope you like the new video camera. Hope it is doing well for you. And hope it's not shaky and is a little bit smoother. And you can look forward to that from now on, I hope, unless I drop it and break it. And I'm not saying that won't happen either. All right, we'll go.